When you feel steady and comfortable, gently close your eyes. We will begin with the Mangalacharan. यस्त्यक्त्वा रूपमाद्यं प्रभवति जगतो अनेकधानुग्रहाय प्रक्षीणक्लेशराशिर्विषमविषधरो अनेकवक्त्रसुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपुरिकर प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हि सहसोऽव्यात् सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Gently bow your head down. Bring yourself to the class. Prepare yourself for the session. When you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes. Externalize. Namo Namaha. Harihi Om. We will continue from the last sutra. Yes, what did we discuss yesterday?
Drashta kya hai? The qualities
Drashta
of
kya?
who is the seer.
Yes, yes. So then we saw one sutra also. 22nd we completed.
We unpacked just a little bit.
Yes, let's see 22nd. We have discussed it, but we will reflect upon it for one more time and progress. A very small sutra. कृतार्थं प्रति नष्टं अपि अनष्टं तद अन्य साधारणत्वात्. So what is this sutra saying? Let's see. Although the scene ceases to exist for one whose purpose is accomplished, the liberated Purusha, it has not ceased to exist altogether, since it is common to the other, which is non-liberated Purushas. Which means if a blind person cannot see the colors, does it mean the colors do not exist for the others? No, they continue to exist. So this sutra simply points out that yoga tradition is realist, not idealist. Realist means the view that the world is objectively and externally real, irrespective of whether we perceive it. And what is the idealistic view? The world is not objectively or externally real, but a product of the mind. So yoga is not saying that it's the product of the mind. What is it saying? It is real, whether you perceive it or you do not perceive it. So here we see that tendency of yoga philosophy or yoga darshana, because we see the mind component is chitta in yoga, and beyond chitta also we have the alinga, prakriti and purusha. So the bhashyam, krutharthamekam purusham prati drishyam nashtam api nasham praptam api anashtam tada anya purusha sadharanatvat kushalam purusham prati nasham praptyam akushalam purushan pratyakrutarthamiti tesham drishoho कर्म विषयात्मापन्नम लभते एव पररूप आत्मा रूपम इति अतश्च दृग्दर्शन शक्यतो नित्यत्वाद अनादिः संयोगे व्याख्यात इति तथा चोक्तम धर्मीणान अनादि संयोग धर्म मात्रेण आप्यनादिः संयोग इति. So this sutra says that hence there has been an anadi sanyoga. So we are seeing that the knowledge, if we say there is knowledge, we know the knower. Knowledge has to be of something. That something is Prakriti. I will repeat again. If there is knowledge, that means we confirm the existence of the second efficient cause of life. And this knowledge itself is Prakriti. Are we able to follow this? Knower and the knowledge. The moment we say there is knowledge, that means there is the other. So knower, knowledge, knowing something, having the knowledge of everything that will be knowledge is Prakriti. So in this lifetime, we at least hold two to be true. I am and is there. I am and is there. I am the one who is existing throughout all states and is there. My sambandha, sanyoga, connection is there. So we have to go from is there to experiencing I am. Because there is no end to is there. I am and is there. And from when is this? So yoga cannot say. So yoga says Purusha are many. We discussed yesterday. Avidya किसके पास है? जो जगत की अनुभूति कर रहा है उसके पास अविद्या है. The one who is experiencing the jagat has the avidya with him or her. So jagat or samsara is not going to cease to exist. Just like a train. The train is going to go from one direction to the other. Understand the Purushas as one entering and exiting. Once you exit, you have nothing to do with the train. Once you get off the train. The train is one, destination is one. Your stipulated time within the train is one. But the moment you move out, similarly, many Purushas are going to be in this journey. Multiple Purushas we talk about. Yesterday we saw what is Bhoga, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Yes, Bhoga and Apavarga. So Dharma, Artha, Kama in category of Bhoga, Apavarga, Moksha. Also Bhoga is what? Sukha, Dukkha. Experience of happiness and sorrow, Sukha, Dukkha, together is known as Bhoga. It is, as a seeker of yoga, important to understand that Sukha, Dukkha are similar. Two sides of the same coin. Both are known as Bhoga. Even if you're experiencing happiness, Bhoga. Experiencing Dukkha or sorrow, both of them are Bhoga because both of them are reason for the next birth. One will give you attachment, other will give you aversion. So we see here, just like the Drushta was Anashta before, right? One term, Anashta. Anashta. Nashta, destroyed. Indestructible. Anashta. Like the Drishta was Anashta before, it continues. So this sambandha, the sutra says, between the drishta and the drushya started in Anadi Kala, started long time back. We do not know when it started. But to end it, it will only take a minute. And the ending is in our hand. Just as a small child born, the cord is cut off from the mother. And there is independent existence of this child. So the cutting of this cord, how long we have been into the garbha of avidya, we do not know how long it has been. But the moment there is awareness, cutting this cord is going to help forward in self-realization. So this Anadikala Samyoga, this conjunction is not known, but its end is in our hand. So what is in our hand? The cutting of the cord of the samsara. Drishya. But the problem with this often seen is everybody has understanding on the spiritual journey, but nobody has time to practice this cutting of the cord. Even the greatest of Mahatmas have become busy. We see there is so much of business under the name of spirituality. Mahatma in Kali Yuga have become Mahatama, full of tamas. It is, yes, it is observed. In saffron robes also, we see it's not a surprise. We saw merely having the samskara of sannyasa does not make one sannyasa. So this cutting the cord, then what happens? Then you are in the monastery. Then you get busy again. You get very, very busy promoting yourself everywhere, promoting the sansthan, accepting donations, giving donations. It has its part. But do you have the time to cut the cord? Then you would have done this better at home. You would have at least taken care of people in the house. So every mission, every organization starts with a noble thought. But people make themselves so busy in the spiritual world that the intrinsic understanding that why we are here and what am I here for and what I have to take out of this is lost. So this, the more we get into spirituality, the higher it seems we get more busier. There is no time to cut the cord. So this understanding of samsara sometimes even remains with the Mahatma as it is. There is no time for the Mahatma to cut the cord. They have to attract so many people across the world. Come, give speeches, this and that. Fine, if naturally comes something along your way, as a spiritual seeker, it's nothing in your hand to reject or accept. Once in a while, if naturally something comes along, that's fine. But spending day and night and thinking about how many funds are organizing this is not the spiritual behavior. So any one of you, if you become a yogi, you will be known as a yogi in the future. And if you start your own organization, please remember that you are there to cut the cord. And when you are only able to do it for yourself, you are eligible to do it for others. If you are not able to do it for yourself, how you will help the poor samsari, the one who is in family life, and tell that person, oh no, you come on the path of sadhana. You do your regular sadhana, take some time off for yourself. How will you say it if you have not been able to do it? This is what this sutra talks about, the Sanyoga. In fact, there is a book also, Imitations of Christ, in English. In that the book says, simply throw the ball to the court of God. Throw yourself. Allow yourself to be kicked. Ultimately, you're going to be led to the goal. Allow yourself to be kicked from different places. Ultimately, what is the goal of this Prakriti? It is going to give you both Bhoga and Apavarga. So allow yourself to be led, flow naturally, wherever it is taking you. Just take a moment, observe the next verse, then we begin. Let's see Sutra number 23. Sanyoga Swarupa Abhididistedam Sutram Pravartate Swaswami Shakyatoho Swarupa Upalabdhi Hetuhu Sanyogaha. Now, there is more discussion further on the Sanyoga. Why did it happen? What is the reason? Since when? Purushah Swami Drishyena Svena Darshanartah Sanyuktah Tasmat Sanyogat Drishyasya Upalabdhyartah Sabhogah Yatu Drashtuhu Swarupolabdhihi Soapavargah Darshanakaryasanah Sanyoga iti Darshanam Viyogastya Karanam Uktam Darshanam Darshanasya Prati Dvandveti Adarshanam Sayogam इति उक्तम नात्र दर्शनम मोक्ष कारणम अदर्शनम अभावदेव बंध भाव समोक्षम इति दर्शनस्य भावे बंध कारणस्य दर्शनस्य नाश इत्यतो दर्शन ज्ञानम कैवल्य कारणम तथा च उक्तम. Now संयोग is discussed with the help of the word adarshanam. Let's observe what this sutra brings us. Swa, the possessed, Swami, the possessor. So, what will we say? The Swa as the Prakriti. Swa Prakriti. Swami, the master of Prakriti. Shakyatoho, of the powers. Swarupa, nature. Upalabdhi, understanding. Hetuhu, cause. Heya hetu, han and hanupaya. Hetuhu, cause. Sanyoga, conjunction, contact or association. The conjunction is the means of understanding the real nature of the powers of the possessed and the possessor. So, we see in the sutra that the Sanyoga started with a very good reason. The Sanyoga started with a good reason. And what was this good reason? To give the Swadarshana, for the Purusha to be acquainted with the self. So this Sanyoga, who I am, or what is my capacity, to what can there be expansion in me? Understand this, the Sanyoga happened for the Purusha to realize itself, to what extent can there be expansion within me, to know the Swarupa with the help of Prakriti. But it did not stop there. What happened after that? Bhoga and Apavarga both continued. So this Sanyoga, the original intention of the Sanyoga was to give what? The Apavarga. But we see that the Purusha continues to be in Bhoga. So Swarupa Siddhi ke liye Sanyoga tha. Write this, Swarupa Siddhi. To understand the nature of Purusha, to understand one's own nature completely with the instrument of Prakriti, there was Sanyoga. So, in reality, Sanyoga was for the good. And what happens with Sanyoga, or this conjunction between Purusha and Prakriti? Please make a note here. Drishyasya upalabdhi and drashta upalabdhi. Drishyasya upalabdhi and drashta swarupa upalabdhi. Whenever there is conjunction, drishya upalabdhi, the visual appears. And how do you have the knowledge of Prakriti? In visuals. So, drishyasya upalabdhi and drashta swarupa upalabdhi. This Sanyoga gives both. The drishya swarup and drashta swarup, both are experienced. So if you recall, we see the kleshas as the cause of suffering in the very beginning. After kleshas, we had seen the union of Purusha and Prakriti. We started discussing the union of Purusha and Prakriti as the cause of suffering, and this is the Sanyoga. This union is known as Sanyoga. So the kleshas, again finer, going back. Why did this? Because a yoga ruksha is going to ask these questions. Why there is Sanyoga in the first place? The reason for Sanyoga was to for the Purusha to understand what? The expansion, its true nature. And this Sanyoga is capable of giving both Bhoga and Apavarga. So Sanyoga, the metaphysical cause of suffering, is Sanyoga. So therefore, where it begins with the conjunction of both Purusha and Prakriti. You can note this.
Ma'am, may I know what Drishta Swarupa Upalabdhi you
Drishya Upalabdhi is the scene. Drishya Upalabdhi, Bhogo. Am I audible to the others?
That's it.
Yes. Okay, so let us try again. Drishya Upalabdhi. Drishya means that which is seen. Okay, that happens with conjunction. And Drashta Swarup Upalabdhi. Drashta Swarup, one is able to know oneself. That also happens with conjunction. So there cannot be Drashta Swarup Upalabdhi without the contact of Prakriti. There cannot be the Drashta Swarup Upalabdhi without conjunction. So the cause of both the Bhoga and Apavarga is Sanyoga. The cause of both Bhoga and Apavarga is Sanyoga. This sutra will discuss more about Sanyoga. Avidya is the cause of this conjunction, Sanyoga. From where has it come? This Sanyoga? It has come from Avidya. Here Avidya is known as Adarshan, not able to see, Adarshana. Darshana, to see, Adarshana. Not able to see. Adarshana, not able to see what? Drishya and Drashta. Darshana also is to do with Drishti. Darshan, Drishti, Drishya, Drashta. I will repeat again. The Drishti, the Drashta, the Drishya and Adarshana, or Darshana in this case. So, Darshan and Adarshana, for both the causes Sanyoga, the sutra says. Adarshana, unable to see. It's not bad, it is contradictory of Darshana. So, Adarshana will come with Bhoga, Darshana will come with Apavarga. Adarshana का कारण भी संयोग है, not able to see. That also the reason is संयोga of Purusha and Prakriti. अदर्शन का अभाव बंधन का भाव है. Unable to see is feeling you are in bondage. Write this again. Unable to see or अदर्शन का अभाव.
Can you repeat the last line?
Adarshan ka abhav. What is adarshan? Not able to see. Abhav. The situation where there is no adarshana. Bandhan ka bhav hai. You understand bandhan, bondage. Adarshan ka bhav. Bandhan ka abhav hai. Adarshan ka bhav. Now adarshan again, unable to see, ka bhav is there. When adarshana is there, बंधन का अभाव है. When you are able to observe this adarshan, what will happen? Naturally, the bandhana will resolve by itself. So what does this sutra say? Na darshanam iti adarshanam. Na darshanam iti adarshanam. What is the paribhasha vyakhya of adarshana? Na darshanam iti adarshanam. Now, na has different meanings. Na usually has or used in 6 cases in Sanskritam. The word na means 6 things. Note it down. Whenever you see na mentioned anywhere in any text, you will be able to use it. Na will usually talk about abhav, incomplete. Na is to do with abhava. Na would mean also the other. If one is not there, that means the presence of other is confirmed. Na will also mean tadalpata or less. Wherever you see na would also mean less. Na will also mean aprashasyati or not worth. Na will also mean not worth. Na will also mean virodhascha, the opposite. And na pratishedha, I am something, which confirms I am not the other. So wherever na word is used in Sanskritam, it is used in these 6 contexts. This sutra tells us in which context it is used here, where na darshanam iti adarshanam. To explain so, 8 different questions are put forth. What is the cause of this? Ignorance. First, is ignorance the result of the play of the 3 gunas? First question. Is ignorance, so we are contemplating here, from where did this adarshanam come? What adarshanam is exactly? To understand it, we are going to see it with the help of different questions. Perhaps sage Patanjali, in the discussion, made the students think about it more, where the students contemplated and asked the question. So first question, is ignorance the play of the 3 gunas? Because as long as gunas are active, ignorance will prevail. First question. Second, is ignorance due to the mind? Is ignorance due to the mind which fails to modify itself into the true object of knowledge? Does ignorance spring from the gunas? Which means, is ignorance eternal? First question said, result of the gunas. This is springs or arises from the gunas. That means as long as 3 gunas are there, ignorance is confirmed. Does ignorance remain dissolved as latent samskara in the gunas of Prakriti at the end of each creative cycle? Which means, when there is laya and pralaya, in pralaya, what happens to the adarshanam? What happens to these gunas? What happens to the avidya? It is also in nirudha avastha. It goes back to its original cause. What happens when we go to sleep? What is that? Pralaya. Chitta pralaya hai na? When you wake up again, that is laya. So you are already experiencing laya pralaya within you every day. When you go to sleep, it is pralaya. When you rise again, laya. Laya pralaya, laya pralaya. So is ignorance, or specifically here adarshanam, to do with this? Where does this adarshanam be? When there is what? The state of sushupti or pralaya. Therefore, why we feel so happy when we are in deep sleep? What is the reason for it? Because we are cut off from this sanyoga. The reason why the sleep feels sukhatmaka, there is so much of joy again and again. Why? Because this cord is temporarily cut. Therefore, we again, no matter how many lights sparkle in the daytime, no matter how fancy are the objects in the world, no matter नाना तरीके के भोग मिल रहे हैं आपको, no matter what all is viable in this world, in the daytime, no matter how much you experience and enjoy, you want to go to sleep. The essential understanding of this sutra: why do you want to go to sleep when there is bhoga outside throughout the day? There is absolutely nothing there. Sukhatmak, why does it feel so good to fall asleep? Because in that avastha, what is there? There is no sanyoga, there is no connection. There is separation experienced, not in awareness, but there is separation experienced. So संयोग है तो सुख दुख है, भोग है, दोनों है, अपवर्ग भी है. Now the question is, what is giving more joy? संयोग या वियोग? What is giving more joy? You're experiencing it through years and years and years. What is giving you more joy? Out of the 24 hours, the 12 hours, 15 hours that you are in contact with the world, or the 6 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours that you have dropped all the roles before you go to bed, brother, sister, father, husband, whatever it is, cut off the cord and rest. So catching the same thread, we have to contemplate more on it. Why is it so? When there are so many avenues open for enjoyment, why is it in the state of sleep highest amount of joy experienced? Nothing can match it. You give me everything in the world, to best of the things to eat, best of the things to wear, but if you take away the sleep from me, I will be very, very miserable. This was one of the ways for us to understand Sanyoga and Viyoga, what has been discussed. So when we are in Yoga Nidra, for example, we get closer to being in awareness in a restful state. When we are in the state of Dhyana, that time also posture is different, but we are resting. We are again internalized, the eyes are closed. In sleep, but you are not aware, still you are able to experience this sukha. Of what? Viyoga. संयोग है, दुख है, वियोग है, सुख दुख के ऊपर है, स्वरूप है. Now, for this very sutra, we see Sankhya Karika 1139 or 1.139 and 1.149. Janamadi avasthatah purusha bahutvam. From the beginning of Sanyoga, many purushas. Therefore, we say there is truth in all of these questions. If we observe, all of these questions hold some or the other truth.
Guruji,
Ji.
the fourth question, which is, does ignorance remain as a silent samskara?
Latent samskara. Yes.
Latent samskara.
Yes.
But if the sanyog is the actual cause, where is the seed?
Of avidya?
G, because in the purest of the forms, the sanyog, would that mean that the sanyog was a effect of the cause of the seed of ignorance within the Purusha? But then Purusha
No.
is,
In
there is no.
both, Sanyoga is capable of giving both Bhog and Apavarga. The original intention was Apavarga. That means to understand the Swarupa. But Swarupa to be understood with what? The infinite capacities that I have. So I am trying to understand my own expansion is Sanyoga. And my expansion with the instrument of Prakriti. When I explore the Prakriti, it's, it's vastness. That vast I am. That vast is not Prakriti, the play of the Trigunas. So this vastness, to understand how expansive I can be to Apavarga. Okay, I have realized this expansiveness. The mistake what we make is Adarshana, unable to see that this is the real intention of Sanyoga, to understand ourselves with the instrument that is Prakriti. From the seen, understand the seer. Who is the one who is seeing, as we discussed in the previous session? With the help of the seen only you will know the seer. From knowledge only you will know knower, because knowledge also contains the knowledge of the knower. Please know this. Knowledge also contains the knowledge of the knower. So Prakriti, Sanyoga with Prakriti also contains what? The understanding of Purusha. Instead of knowing the knower, we are knowing everything else in it. I hope we are able to follow. This is not very heavy. Knowledge is also going to contain what? The knowledge of the knower. Through the knowledge only there will be the understanding of the knower. So what is to be known must be very, very clear. Ji Hiteshri, yes.
Ma'am, does the knowledge enjoy its own bliss?
There is no, in knowledge, there is no bhoktritva. There is only kartritva. This experience part is that of the Purusha. Purusha cannot act. In Prakriti, there is the action of the Trigunas. So kartritva, expansion. So the computer will, like I said, it will not, the window will not work for itself. The computer will not work for itself. The flower will not realize its value. It's the seer who appreciates the flower. Flower blooms not for itself, but for the other. So Prakriti is here for whom? The Purusha. Therefore, Bhoga and Apavarga, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Sukha, Dukkha, that is Bhoga. Dharma, Artha, Kama is what? Sukha, Dukkha. And Apavarga or Moksha is through Prakriti. So one who is Mukta realizes this is just me observing my expansion. So where is bondage and where is liberation? Like I will again cite the example of the sparrow which sits on the wheel, says somebody is pulling me down. The wind again changes its course, the wheel again rises up. And the sparrow says again, the bird says, somebody set me free, somebody set me free. So it is our own experience to move, to sit, to come in contact with something. Call it our own and separate. Both is in our hands, to come in contact and to be separate. The moment we are in contact, but we are not attached, we are separated. Understand this again. The moment we are in contact with Prakriti, but we are not attached, means we are separated. We remain as a separate entity. We remain as the Purusha. There is no Raga and Dvesha. But we come in contact and we are attached. We are in bondage. So, idea is to come in contact and not be attached with the Prakriti. Moment there is attachment, there is pause. See, whatever we like or we don't like, which means we are pausing there. We have slowed down the gati of the prarabdha. We have slowed down the natural course of our destiny. Since we have slowed it down, it feels a long lifetime. Don't you think? The moment there is no attachment, you will feel, oh, life was so short. So the idea is, wherever we are planted, to complete our role there, whatever is around us is the working of three gunas. Observe it. You will see. It's the Prakriti itself. Be in contact, don't be attached until you know yourself. Know yourself, know the truth by what your environment is. The environment will keep on telling you the truth, will keep on telling you more about yourself. The environment never tells us about itself, it tells us more about ourselves. Why, therefore, people want to change of environment? They are not going there to, people are not traveling to make the tourists in, to make the locals in other country to happy. They're traveling to make themselves happy. Are we traveling to make the locals of some other country happy? No, we are traveling to make ourselves happy. We are traveling to know ourselves, to find that happiness in us. Therefore, yoga is purely psychological philosophy. It tells us more about ourselves. Every psychologist must study yoga philosophy. It will be very, very beneficial for their own practice. I will be leaving us to these questions. In the next session, the question will be answered then. Which question finally answers? I think the weekend has kept many of us busy, so not many of us are in the part today. But the ones we are together here, I hope we have followed the knowledge, the role of knowledge and Prakriti. The seed itself contains the future and past in it. Everything is contained in it. So from this knowledge only, the understanding of knower will be there. And if there is knowledge, that means there is presence of the other confirmed second entity. I am and I hold something. The moment I say I hold something, there is something second to me. And when I say knowledge, then the knowledge, entire cosmic intelligence is a part of it. Yes, if you have any questions, you may ask, or then we shall pause today.
Agree. So the Sanyog was to understand the expansiveness, and given that the Prakriti in this occasion is, or samsara, that comes as a byproduct of the Sanyog, is never ending. It's always expansive. So where does this desire of, or rather not a desire, I'm running out of words for English and I guess words in general, but what leads to this viyoga, that return back, that
Viyoga.
that
Yes.
the realization that this is it, and one must, I guess, we return back to the state. Where does that come from?
The moment we realize adarshanam, the moment there is the power to see, and the power to see comes from darshana shastra. That's the role of shastra. This is the point. Therefore, we say philosophy is known as darshana. What is this darshana? Darshana is to see. So the moment, which means we are very, very blessed this lifetime. We have the opportunity to cut the cord. Therefore, we have, out of so many जन्म जन्मांतरों के बाद आपने मनुष्य जन्म लिया है. मनुष्य जन्म में भी आपके पास मनुष्यत्व है. In the human birth, you have humanity. In being with humanity, you have found a teacher who is giving you moksha shastra. Not dharma, artha or kama. Neither of these three are taught here. What is taught? Moksha is taught. Understanding or listening. So this listening, you are bound to listen to this shastra, this word, either from me or somebody else. It doesn't matter from whom. But you are bound to have and take in this knowledge to yourself. So the moment there is darshana shastra, the knowledge of drishta, drishya, and the adrishta, three, all of these are confirmed. Darshana Shastra. From there, we move towards Apur. That means there has been enough bhog for you this lifetime. And previous lifetimes and lifetimes. There has been so much of Sukha Dukkha. You have seen ample of both. Not just Dukkha. You've seen ample of Sukha. You don't know previous births where you were selling some gold coins. Don't know what you are doing. You have seen कितने बार सुख, इतना सुख भोग लिया है. You have experienced so much of happiness. Therefore, in this birth also you are looking for happiness. From where is this natural longing, running after happiness coming in the heart? Because you have experienced so much of it. इतना सुख भोग लिया है. कितना सुख भोगना है और? So much of happiness. Abundance of enjoyment experienced. Therefore, we see the tendency of the mind outside in the world running towards enjoyment. If that ends, they are unhappy. सुख का अभाव ही दुख है, दुख कुछ और नहीं है. पर ये सुख जो विषय से आ रहा है, इसको भोग कहते हैं. और यही सुख जब स्वरूप से आता है, इसे आनंद कहते हैं, आत्मानंद. With this, we conclude today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bow your head down. Be grateful for this learning. When you're ready, gently lift your head up, open your eyes, externalize. Namo Namaha. Hare Om. We meet again soon in the next session and discuss the next.